To be fair, actually, just a comment. Ever since studying what I'm studying, I have actually been able to understand why people are assholes and like why they are being the way that they're being.
Good evening, everybody.
Oh my.
And welcome. Shh, wait, I will give you the... I shush, yeah. Good evening, everybody. And have a lovely summer. We are boiling here. Well, I messed up, didn't I? We are boiling here.
It's very hot
in the
here.
studio. No, we are boiling. That's the word I want to use. But we are high in confidence and we'll have a great podcast today. I hope you will enjoy it. I'm with my friend Abigail, or Abby for the friends.
Or
so,
Dr. Johnson.
Or
for professionals.
In a couple of years, Dr. Johnson.
It'll be more than a couple of years, but
More.
yeah.
In twice couple of years from now.
Yeah.
Which for you that you don't know, apart from her being very sexy and beautiful, she's smart as well. Who would have thought that?
Wow.
Because she's studying, and that's the topic for our podcast today. She studied criminal psychology.
Forensic psychology.
What's the difference?
Don't really know, to be honest, but the title is forensic.
Okay. But it's the same thing, because when I was Googling stuff, they were...
Criminal psychology, I reckon, is more like the police side of it.
Okay.
Whereas forensic psychology is more like...
Crazy.
In general.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Like prisoners and that kind of stuff.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, but to go to prison, don't you need to be a criminal?
Yeah. But I mean, like, more like eyewitness testimony will be like criminal psychology. I guess it's all like the same, kind of. But it's more like forensic psychology sounds better.
Okay, I see.
Difference. You do not help the police to get the...
We can.
You can?
Yeah. But in America, we use like criminal profiling, which is like if you're trying to catch a serial killer, we will like look at all the things that are the same throughout all the crimes to then create this person.
Is it? But
yeah, like Ted Bundy.
Basically, you are screening him.
What do you mean?
Like when you are trying to check all the habits and all the things that he does. Like,
yeah.
Do you have a massive board that you do pins and stuff? Like, you know, all
I
the
don't know.
movies.
I haven't got to that point yet.
But you have been to testimonies and stuff, don't you?
Yeah.
I've
sat in court. I've never actually been behind the scenes.
Yeah. Did anybody... Is it, from what we see on the movies, is it the same or no?
Not in the UK. The ones in the movies are more like American style.
Okay.
In the UK it's a bit different, yeah.
How is it working? Like what's the protocol there?
In what? The court?
Yeah,
in
yeah.
what well, I can't talk. In what way?
Like, I guess there is a judge.
Yeah.
There is the...
Depends which court you go to though. If you go to Crown Court there's a judge.
Okay.
If you go to Magistrates Court there isn't.
What is that?
So in Magistrates, huh?
Is there a jury?
In the Crown Court, yeah. So in the Crown Court you have a judge and the jury. And then in the Magistrates you have 3 magistrates, which is like 3 people. They're normally volunteers. In fact, they're always volunteers. But they've had legal training.
Okay.
And you basically just go to court and they decide.
So, but this is less than the Crown Court.
Yeah. So to go to Crown Court you need to go through Magistrates first.
Okay.
And then it gets put to Crown.
Okay. Which one? Have you been on both or
Yeah.
have you been...
I've been on
which
both.
one is more interesting?
Crown, obviously.
Yeah.
It's got the juicy crimes, isn't it? Probably shouldn't say that, but yeah.
What is that you liked about this and you decided to go to that field?
Just the way that people think, innit? Like, why do you feel like you need to kill someone?
I never had
It's so
that.
interesting, no?
No.
I think it's so interesting. Like,
Deathblade, so I have to agree.
you're what?
I'm Deathblade.
Oh,
so I
yeah.
have to agree.
Yeah. Like, why, when you know that someone's like, I don't know, killed someone or done something bad to children or whatever, do you not ever think like, why? Like, what possessed you to do that?
So that's what you are studying, like to understand what's behind the crimes and.
Kinda, yeah. I learned a lot what I know from documentaries.
Really?
Yeah, and what we do now is more like risk assessments for prisoners.
Okay.
How to stop them reoffending.
Is
Therapies.
Is this
that kind of
work
stuff.
though?
What do you mean?
Most of the people say prison doesn't work. But
Interesting fact, actually. I think in the UK, no, not really. I think a
Okay.
lot of things in prisons need to be looked at properly and more things need to be put in place for it to actually
Okay.
work. Is it Norway? I could be very wrong. I want to say
Norway.
Norway or Finland or Sweden.
Let's go
either
with
one.
this. Those,
Anyway,
you know.
They're
the
all near
s-
each other, I
yeah,
think.
the Scandinavians, the better are us.
Yes.
The higher society.
Yeah.
Well,
I-
I listen to many people from Norway who have been to prison. I listen to their songs, and they are all seem to
Yeah.
be really good. But there are also people in Norway that they went out and still.
Yeah, obviously, like,
But
it's not
I don't
100%.
know many people from other countries.
I don't think you are be able to hear you because you are a bit far
Okay.
from the microphone.
Can I listen? Can I ask something to the guest?
Okay, go on.
You have seen many documentaries, right?
Yep.
You've watched many. Do you think there is a bias? Because it's it's a matter. It's like when a documentary is about murderers, there is a high likelihood that there is going to be a bias.
Bias of.
A bias of the way the documentary is said is very. Let's be careful with what we say, how we present things.
I think, I don't know if this is what you're asking.
Basically, if showing
but
the good side and they
No,
have,
yeah, yeah,
and some
like, I
other they
think-
throw them under
Is
the
it?
carpet.
You have seen many documentaries.
yes.
Do you feel that they are really? Most of them are like objectively seeing things. They see things objectively, like they are.
I think a lot of them look at the police reports. They don't really look at the psychology behind the criminal act. I think there's a lot of bias towards the criminal themselves as to like, he's a really bad guy, he's this, he's that. And
He got what he deserved.
yeah, he should like get the death penalty and he should like go to prison and all this.
And people like that shouldn't exist.
Yes.
All of that. Because I have
But-
seen a couple and I say, no, I don't feel like...
Yeah, and I don't agree with that because I think there's a lot of reasons as to why people act that way and why people commit crimes. It's not their fault, not always. Sometimes, okay, it's a bit...
Some
Some
people
peop-
have to be crazy.
Yeah. But like, there's a reason why they've done that. They didn't just wake up one day and like kill someone.
It's something that's usually it's built out of
Yeah.
years and years and years.
Like years and years, or they might have a mental disorder, trauma, like that kind of stuff.
I've seen that a lot of people have like issues from they were from abusive families, and some of them they tend to have like a schizophrenic tendency. And
Schizophrenia, I could be very wrong, but schizophrenia I think is only genetic.
yeah, it is, but it's treatable unless if you are abused and they don't pay attention to you.
Thing is with schizophrenia though, like it's one of the least reported mental health disorders.
Yeah.
With
Like
murder.
no, in general.
general.
It hasn't got a lot of research behind it. So a lot of people with schizophrenia are actually misdiagnosed with like other disorders. So it's a
Okay.
very,
Yeah. But if you have a mental disorder, it's easier for you to flip and do something crazy and do a murder or to
and
kill
that's
someone.
why if you watch things and like documentaries and stuff, if they go to prison or they go to court, there is someone that's like, okay, he's actually shown signs of like this mental disorder. Because if you kill someone and you have shown signs of a mental disorder, you actually get less time in prison. So a lot of people try and fake having a mental disorder.
Isn't this a bit shit though?
Yes. Like it's easy. Like, it's the same with like antidepressants are very easy to get hold of in the UK, because I think the depression test that you have to do, like, if you want, like, you can give it to me and I'll do it for you. Like, I know everything you need to tick in order.
Okay.
I will never do that, obviously, but like,
Come on, I
Sometimes it's
know.
obvious.
it's very obvious. Like how often have you felt depressed this week or sad this
Do you
week?
feel that life is meaningless?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah, that kind of stuff.
But life, it is meaningless. What do you mean?
But a lot of for PTSD, for example, they give you a scale. It's not as obvious with PTSD, and they also do a test so that they can see whether you faked it or not.
Okay.
So I've never seen that test, so I
Really?
don't know. But yeah,
I had a neighbor with schizophrenia.
really.
Too far from the microphone.
I had a neighbor with schizophrenia, and she was walking by on the streets, screaming at 4 a.m.
You
Okay.
mean Mitsos Varellas?
But I didn't think she was dangerous, because when people were passing by, she would immediately stop.
Yeah.
So I knew it's her, because once I saw her from behind, and I say, oh, it's the same voice. It's her who passes by on 4 a.m. screaming.
I don't know a lot about schizophrenia. I don't know if I think it can make you dangerous. But I think a lot of mental illnesses can make you dangerous to yourself, to
but
others.
I think it's a major what your life is as well, isn't it? Like, if I have an easygoing life and the people around me are helpful and nice,
It's about your support network.
it will be
Not
a very good
stressful.
experience for me, and I won't try to do something bad to people. But if I'm like abused and I am
but like some people
depressed.
have the most amazing family, friends, everything, and they still have depression. And it's not always about environmental triggers or external factors.
Really?
It can be internal as well. It's also about your brain makeup, like the chemicals in your brain. Like, if you have too much serotonin, like, it's good. Well, I think, I don't really know. If you have too less serotonin, then obviously it's like depression, anxiety, that kind of stuff.
How
So
is this treatable? Like, how can
Yeah.
I get that?
how can you get what?
Those, like what you say, to change those.
You can get antidepressants, anti-anxiety medication.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If
Therapies
I'm
as well.
happy and I take them, what's happening to me? Getting more happy, or
You can overdose for sure. You can get addicted to them.
really?
It's also, that's why a lot of people fake the depression test thing in order to get antidepressants, because it gives you a high. Like, it makes you feel
like a small weed.
but without the hunger and all the
side effects.
it just makes you
getting
feel
happy.
like life is the best thing ever.
Life is the best thing ever.
Like, life can't get any better. But as soon as you get used to that dosage, like, it will stop working.
And then I will have to do more. And
You have to go
take more
higher and
take
higher
more
and higher, and
take
then when you
more.
get to the highest dose, obviously it doesn't work. But obviously, if you take antidepressants and you're not depressed, when you come off them, you'll have all the withdrawal symptoms. You actually even will feel depressed,
Okay.
because your body, I guess this is how it works. Your body will stop producing the serotonin
Because you
because
are
it's getting
overflowing.
from
Yeah. I know what you mean. Interesting.
yeah.
Do you think people that they are in, let's say, they are fine, in their life, but they think they are not?
What do you mean?
Like, a lot of time, as you said, like, how many times you felt like you are miserable, but technically you are not kind. You are just had a bad
Well, and
hour.
then people think that they're like,
and they jump on doing, like, be like, I'm sick, I'm like this, and they go to the doctors and getting diagnosed and get all the medicine, all the extras.
And that's what I don't agree with, actually, with the doctors here. When you go to the doctors and tell them that you feel like low mood a lot of the time, first thing they do is chuck pills at you. They don't offer you any therapy, nothing.
Really?
Is
this how it's done?
In the UK, I don't know about anywhere else, but here it's very...
I've been a couple of times to the doctors, and before even check me, like when the first time I went there, they said to me, like, take this and you will be fine. And I'm like, what the fuck? Are you gonna check me? How I feel, like this with a hammer or whatever.
And then, actually, with mental health, I've actually noticed that you get better help from people that aren't getting paid to the people that
Really?
are. Yeah,
Because they're volunteers, you reckon, and they do it because
they do it because they want to help
they
people.
want help.
Whereas with a lot of people, I'm being careful what I say.
I will say the bad things if you want.
Yeah, I don't want to like
Of
offend
course,
anyone.
not every doctor is the same.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but
like
that's on the person, really.
yeah, and I've been to really good doctors, been to very good like therapists, let's say, and I've been to really bad ones as well. So it does depend on the person as well.
Yeah.
So it depends who wants to help.
So from your perspective, yeah, are you? Well, you will continue to do this, and you will grow more, and you will start understanding more about the people. But you will work mostly with criminals that have already been have offended. Have offended. So they are already in jail. Yeah. Why is that? Because I assume you could be in the criminal psychology, which is people prior to the.
I don't really know. That's just me guessing.
We are guessing here anyway.
Yeah.
We're not experts yet.
Yeah.
That's what
well,
we
I
do.
semi-am actually.
Semi. We are semi. Well, you are semi-expert. I am super bad expert. So.
Okay.
So, is it like interest? What is that? Tell me what is interested you to choose a specific this one.
Okay, so I think because I find criminal documentaries so interesting.
Yeah.
And I mean, a lot of people do. But then I want to help people. Like, I want to help them become better. And from personal experience, like in my personal life, I've been in very bad places in my life and not had anyone. And I know how bad that feels. Okay. So I want to be able to help someone that is in that bad place, because I don't ever want anyone to feel like that, no matter what they've done in their life. Like, no one deserves to feel like that.
So it's a job that needs a lot of compassion, especially in that field.
But that's another thing. Like, I feel like but also no. To be able to work with them kind of people, you do need compassion, but you also need to not have compassion towards the victim. Because let's say you're working with someone who's, I don't know, slit someone's throat and stab them to death. Yeah, you can't feel. You can't feel empathy towards the victim or the family of the victim, because then you will become biased. Because obviously you'll have more empathy towards the victim than towards the person that done it, right?
You need to
you
need compassion. You need to learn how to channel this.
Yeah, but you need to be able to have compassion towards the person that actually done it.
Isn't this coming through experience,
that's
though?
That's what I meant. I meant that you have to be in touch with what compassion means and how to use it.
Yeah, but you also need to be able to understand the way that someone can think, because
that's why experience is necessary.
Yeah.
Because no matter what you read, if you do not have actually experienced many people who have been through these situations, it can never really give you solidifying knowledge.
Exactly. And like in a lot of documentaries and stuff, you don't see the prisoner side. You never see it. You maybe get like, Ted Bundy's mum was a prostitute, that's why he killed women.
You get to see people like Charles Manson.
Do you know what? I don't know about him. I've heard about him, but I've never read about him.
You can see his perspective, but it's always something that always gives points.
Yeah. And I think a lot of these serial killers as well, if they had the help that they could have had
before,
a lot of lives would have been saved. But
can you explain to me what's your expectations of going into the field, like a person that is new on that field?
My expectations.
Yeah, like, can you explain that to me? Like, what do you expect to see? What's your fears, or what's your goals, or
my fears are like, when you go into a prison and they're very like loud and shouting and like that kind of stuff. Obviously, I'm a woman. And like, obviously, and,
I kind of noticed, to be honest. Like, it was hard, but I
know, right?
did manage.
So especially with a man's prison, like men prison, it would be very, I think, them shouting things and I
Thanks
have
to
to
you, you mean?
yeah.
Like whistling and stuff like this. Like,
and like saying things, or like me having to be in a room with them on my own, like it'll be very scary,
stressful.
Yeah, stressful, scary. Like they could attack me at any
Well,
time.
that's what you say now, but in 10 years from now.
Yeah, but also the fact that everything is confidential, and my private life could be at risk. So all my Facebook, my Instagram, everything will have to be shut down. Not shut down, but like very closed, so that they can't find me. Or I have to work away from home, like in another town, so that if I'm walking on the street, I don't accidentally bump into someone that's been released.
Oh, interesting that.
Yeah.
Except if you do your work well.
Yeah.
And you want to step on someone.
No.
So this is the
really
fear,
helped you,
though. This is the fear, but you see, like things that motivates you. Like you said, you want to help people.
Mhm.
Like, do you think that this will compromise your, like your thinking and your feelings? Because, as you said, nobody
You mean
looks
change
about.
them?
Yeah, I would say compromise, because it's normally when you do something for a certain time, you tend to kind of like change depend the circumstances, and then when you drift apart from this again, you start flying back to how you were before, unless you give a trauma. Yeah. So do you feel that or do you have someone that advise you or give you pointers when you go to prisons and stuff like this?
You have a supervisor.
Yeah.
Someone that you go to in order to talk about how you feel and all that. I think you meet with them maybe 2 weeks, every 2 weeks, every month. But that's kind of what I'm doing my dissertation on right now.
Ooh.
So, yeah, but a lot of the things, I don't know, like, it changes in every place of work. So, in hospitals is different to prisons. So, yeah.
Did you have the opportunity to help someone, or to see that he is getting help from you?
Yeah.
Can you describe like how was the feeling?
How I felt?
Well, you can tell us how you achieved that if you want.
I can't
and then,
really talk about
because
it.
it's confidential. But it can, if you can like scratch the surface, which is not confidential, and then if you can describe like how you felt at that moment of achieving one of the goals of the reasons that you've been there.
Do you know what though? Like, I feel like when people achieve their goals, I feel like they feel this sense of like proudness. But like, to me, it wasn't like, I wasn't proud. I wasn't anything. Do you know what I mean?
No.
Like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, to me, it just comes naturally to help people.
Okay.
Like, so I used to volunteer in court, in Northampton actually.
We have a lot of criminals.
Yeah, you do actually, to be honest. But yeah, there were some times that were very challenging. For example, like victims, and just knowing that they've been through that. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know how to explain it, but like having to help them was a very good moment for me. Like, it made me feel warm, let's say.
Okay. Warm.
Yeah.
Like, I do what
I love doing this. Like, yeah.
Like getting the. Can you say getting the? How do you say it in English? Fuck.
You're going to cut this in the
getting fulfillment, the fulfillment of what you're doing. It's just you have an impact.
More a feeling of I do what I'm made to do.
Yeah. Like, I feel like
that's a fulfillment.
Yeah,
isn't it?
I do feel like I was like born to do this.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm in the right place.
Yeah.
I was watching actually a documentary about drugs.
Okay.
Recently, and actually
What does it have to do with crime?
Because it's criminals that go to jail. What the fuck?
Right, yes.
Yeah. So because they working in gangs, and
Yeah.
they are gangs that fighting with each other, and I was breathing
So they had gangbang.
like I was.
Oh my god.
Sorry, I stopped.
Of course, they were like all over the place. And this guy was like undercover cop, and he was basically said that he was his biggest case was about a big like drug bust, drug trafficking. And he said that he had to come to Northampton because it was the center. And I was like, what the
Why wouldn't it be though?
I mean, like, okay, we are knowing here for something.
Oh
yeah, it was crazy. And what he said, actually, it was very interesting. He said that the system, but putting more like undercover policemen,
Cops.
and he just make things worse.
What do you mean?
Because, and I think that has to do something with forensic psychology, or how criminals start thinking that, because they are always getting suspicious.
It makes them paranoid.
Yeah, from the people around. And when you are getting paranoid, it's easier for you to make a crime, to do a crime.
Yeah.
Because you are always like, is this guy that I'm walking my friend? Is he a policeman? Is he gonna betray me?
Is this girl really interested in me, or
is this girl interested in me, or he just and
but they are already committing the crime.
Yeah.
So for me, like, if you're committing a crime and you're getting away with it, you deserve that. You deserve to feel a bit on edge.
Bit of guilt.
Yeah.
Yeah, but in that because I'm thinking in that way, that's what he said.
What?
He said that it creates more the habit of making the tendency to kill someone. Makes it a habit. It's easier for him to kill somebody, even if he's in doubt.
Putting extra stress to the criminals in order to...
And what he said was like, educate the people that drugs doesn't help, make them be part of the system, kinda, he was saying, so the criminals will lose all their power because they have power now because it's illegal.
What, so he wants to make everything legal?
Not everything.
Educate people.
Educate
so
the people.
What they're taking.
And then
yeah, but people don't care what they put in their bodies.
Well,
people just
some do.
Some do, but the people that take drugs obviously don't.
Not really. Some of them, they feel like some of them have very big problems in their life, like being abused or being like, I don't know, getting harassed, getting harassed for people, and they do the drugs just because they forget about this.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
abuse.
People use alcohol, drugs to like forget, to feel good, to feel even something. Like a lot of people are like numb, let's say, because a lot of time if they've been abused or something, they might not be able to even feel emotions, so they take drugs to just feel like something. And I don't even judge people that do drugs like that. I have a problem when people do drugs for no reason. Like, I'm very opinionated actually when it comes to drugs.
When you want to get high, when you're in a party and you want to have extra fun.
Yeah, for me, like, I don't understand. Like, I don't get it. Like,
so you don't drink beer. You don't
no,
drink alcohol.
Alcohol's legal though. Do you know what I mean?
Oh.
And I know people are going to be like, oh my god, she's like such a goody two shoes. That's a very British saying, by the way.
Goody two shoes.
Goody two shoes.
Goody
Yeah.
two shoes.
I'm
taking them. Goody two shoes.
But yeah, alcohol fine, but I think drugs are illegal for a reason. If they didn't have any long-lasting effects on you, any bad things that could possibly happen to you, then they'd be legal.
And you know what 90% of our listeners are saying now?
What?
Alcohol used to be illegal.
No, alcohol, I don't think it was ever illegal.
It was.
No, wait. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't, I don't know. But I know that if it was found today, it would be illegal because of the...
At a certain point in history,
yeah, and because everyone drinks alcohol, pretty much. Like 95% of the population drinks alcohol.
At some point in their lives.
Yeah. Maybe not all the time, but after...
For a month I was in this 10%.
Yeah, I
Yes,
think me
because
too, actually.
95 and 10, it's 100.
Good math
You
skills,
should
right?
drink less.
My maths are good. Or maybe I thought she said 90.
Was it this month?
He's drinking too much alcohol already.
This math, too much alcohol.
Okay, I definitely shut up. I mess you up.
But-
But
But it's crazy if you think about it, because that's what he said. Like when I was watching the documentary, he said that, well, he had. I will knacker here what he said, but I will try to say it as I remember it. He said that because it's illegal,
what?
people
Drugs.
yes get the power because they do them on the shadows. But if you do like marijuana legal, for example, and you tax it, and you have like specific shops that they can sell it for specific reasons, yeah, it will drop by 70% the market, the illegal market, yeah, and then
Okay.
all those people will be like, because imagine like if I am a drug addict, or if I am I like
Yeah,
smoke marijuana,
yeah.
if I can get it legally so nobody will give me any trouble, why should I prefer to the
I think what this guy said was one of the stupidest things anyone could ever say. Like, why? That's like saying, okay, so if we make murdering legal, people won't do it as much because
we make gun legals.
yeah,
I don't know any country that has legal guns. Has a high
America.
criminal.
Oh.
Yeah.
America.
Exactly.
America have legal guns. Like, you're allowed to have a gun. Look how many people are getting shot. And do you know what about America, right? Why have they made guns legal with all these school shootings, right? But now they're trying to make abortion illegal. Don't you have bigger problems on your hand than making abortion illegal?
yeah, but with abortion I can't kill nobody.
You're killing the baby inside you.
Exactly my point.
But you're literally, by doing that, you're taking away women's rights to their own body.
I understand that I'm against that, but that's the logic behind the fact that
Well, our guest disagrees with the documentary.
we want.
Yeah, I think that guy is stupid.
Maybe in
No.
some years you will change your
probably
mind.
probably I
No.
didn't said it in the correct way.
Yeah, but if he said, like,
But,
I understand, I kind of see his point of view, but that's a very face value kind of view. Do you know what I mean? Like, let's make it more legal so they have, like, less time to do criminal activity.
He
Like, that's
didn't
going to
say-
solve
he didn't say
nothing.
do all the drugs criminal.
Legal. Yeah, but,
illegal.
like, make them more legal.
Yeah, like
I believe
how
his
is
point
like
was,
Netherlands?
Mm.
In the Netherlands, they don't do much.
They
People
do
that
marijuana, yeah.
yeah, but people that live there, they don't do much. All the visitors,
Yeah.
then the tourists
But to
do
be
it.
fair, like,
You know,
I feel like because marijuana is only legal really in Netherlands, so that's why
exactly.
people do it. But with marijuana, I actually don't think it should be illegal.
Yeah,
I feel like it has very bad consequences, but so does alcohol. But I don't even know why it's illegal, to be honest, because people actually use it for medicine and stuff.
yeah.
So I don't know why it is illegal, but I mean, I guess I kind of do because of the mental health side of it. But other than that, I don't, because alcohol has the same effect.
Yeah.
Yes, I believe that a drunk person can become more dangerous than a person.
Yeah,
with marijuana.
I do as well. Other than driving, yeah.
Yes. You
But
just
still,
give
when
them
you are
food and
smoking,
they're
you are
fine.
a bit, you are more, don't pay too much attention when you are like stoned.
What do you mean?
When you are driving and you are stoned,
If you're driving and high, oh my god,
yeah,
you're gonna
that's
kill someone.
dangerous too.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Like,
Okay.
other than driving, I don't understand how someone who's high, can make more,
Harm than other people.
more harm than someone that's drunk.
Okay. Interesting things. And you know, some people they say that it's good for you. And I had so many conversations about how
Do they all
people
smoke weed?
try to convince me that
Do
weed
they all
is
smoke
good.
weed?
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
and I said to myself a year ago, no more conversations about this topic, and how bad or good it
The
is.
only thing with cannabis and what's good for it. Like, I don't know all the good benefits of it, but it obviously calms you down, depending on the strain of it as well. But people don't smoke it like moderately. They excessive smoke it. They will like take it to the point where they're like passed out, or they've eaten like enough to feed 5 people. That kind of stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like drinking a bottle of Johnny every day.
Yeah. And then they'll come
Yeah.
at you and they'll be like, oh no, cannabis is good for you, like it has all these what's the word, medical
advantages.
medical advantages, like,
Yeah.
and I'm like, yeah, when you smoke it like once a week, or like you take it like every now and then, but
Every
5
day.
joints a day, no.
Wow, 5. What people do you know? What people do you know, Abby? Oh,
I know.
Should pay
What
more
about 2
attention.
spliffs every day?
Huh?
What about two spliffs every day?
But also, to be fair, like I think it kind of depends on the tolerance level. So like I know.
Yeah, but the more you do, the better tolerance you.
No,
That's
no.
not
And
true.
in the lifestyle too.
The
Yes.
more you do it, the less tolerance you have.
I
think.
know people that smoke, let's say 5 joints a day, yeah? And they are like dying. They can't even function. They can't keep their eyes open. They can't even talk. They can't like do anything, yeah?
Like they don't have the will to do anything.
Yeah, and they also become incredibly paranoid,
Really?
And I also know people that smoke more than that and fine. Like that
Do you think that the skills that you get from your masters and from your bachelors help you to understand how those people, but people in general, how they react, or if they have like a crisis? Because sometimes some people just being very relaxed and they don't pay attention. Sometimes they give too much energy to a conversation that could be easily solved with an okay, it's fine, don't worry.
But okay, that kind of depends on the strain of weed as well. Because
No, I'm not talking about the people that smoking weed. I'm talking about people that tend to smoke weed.
Yeah.
When they don't smoke, they tend to be more like paranoid. So will you be able to understand? That's what I'm saying. Like,
More
because
stressful.
you learn how people react, and maybe you have some methods to understand how the other person feels. So can you notice if someone is just getting paranoid, or if he is depressed for real,
Yeah. Like I can, but the only time that I've actually been able to notice that it was because of the cannabis was because I actually personally knew that person.
Yeah, of course.
Like
if you
before
don't
and
know,
after. But other than that, I wouldn't be able to tell. Like if someone came up to me in the street and was like really paranoid, I wouldn't be like, okay, cannabis. Do you know what I mean? But if someone came up to me in the street and was like severely paranoid over like something that obviously isn't true, then I'd be a bit like, okay, something is wrong with you, like mentally. Not in a horrible way. I mean, like you need help.
Will you be able to tell him to calm him down, or do you use specific
feel
words
like
and
with-
things like this? Or
What if it was cannabis related or not?
no, if it was just paranoid.
What if it just was about
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is probably one of the cases.
But with paranoia as well, I feel like it's kind of related to anxiety, kind of. So, in fact, no, I think it is actually majorly related to anxiety. So, when you feel paranoid, you feel anxious, right?
Yeah.
So, I feel like, I could probably calm someone down quite well.
Because I am a first aider myself.
Oh, me too.
I'm not. Definitely.
So basically, when I did the course, because I did the course, I was going to the gym, and I was doing my kettlebells, 30 and 30 kilos each hand, super strong, whatever. And a guy next to me, he was doing a chest exercise. And at some point he started leaning over me, and I saw his face, and he was like in a shock condition, and I was like, this guy has a problem, and I'm not able to help him because I'm not a first aider. I don't know the process. And what I did is I put him on the floor like with
recovery
what
position.
I didn't know exactly the recovery position, but I knew slightly how to put them. And then I went around to the gym and I asked, like, is anybody first aider? Like, man down, come over to help, you know. Everybody got stressed, and
Yeah.
a guy came and he put him in a recovery position,
Yeah.
and until the medics came and they put him oxygen. They find out that he had a mental disorder because he had a crash and he had a car accident.
He had a neurological disorder.
He had a car accident and he hit his head.
Yeah.
And then he built a trauma, so every time he had the pressure on his head was going higher, so when the blood was going to his head, he was just having crisis. So he shouldn't be technically in the gym. But he was a bit stubborn, I guess. I didn't know him, so
I knew there's someone exactly the same.
Yeah, so for me that was like a shocking moment of like, what will happen if nobody is around? What should you do? So I took the course, and I learned that you have people that getting off the rails, as they say, like they don't behave like calm in a calm way and start getting stressed. You have to talk them calm, to ask them questions that it's like super silly, like, what's your name? Like, is this your knee? Where do you live? And if you see that their answers are like off, you can evaluate, like, if they have a stroke, if they have a heart attack, if they have like if they are in shock, and mainly like to try to keep them calm. Ask them like silly questions, like
Can I ask something? If I'm having a heart attack, I don't want someone to ask me if that's my knee.
No, but for me,
So you are the person helping me right now.
Is that your knee?
Yeah, but for me, if I ask you, is that your knee, and you be like, what? That means that you are not in a condition that you understand what I'm saying. Okay. That's what it is.
Oh,
yeah.
So
it's a very
What are you asking me? Okay.
Yeah, that's my knee. If you say that's my knee, what the fuck? I'm like, okay, good condition. I will be like, oh, relax, I make a mistake.
But how can you tell from their answer what it is? Because we got taught the physical signs.
I don't know exactly what it is, because I'm not a doctor. What they say to us is our aim is to buy time for the medicals and the experts to come, because the first thing that I do is I say call a medic, call an ambulance, and then I go there, I evaluate the situation. If it's dangerous for me, I will be careful, and then I will try to help him, put him in a recovery position, try if he has his senses.
Do you not do the
continuously talking to him?
Dr. ABC? Which is like danger. You check for danger.
Yeah.
And then is it respiratory? You check to see if they're breathing. Airways blocked.
Yeah, you do that.
Then you see if their chest is going up and down.
Yeah.
And then CPR if it's not.
Yeah. What I've been told was like CPR most of the times, if the guy is about to die, won't help. But it's 2% that the person live.
It's like if their heart doesn't start after like a certain amount of time, like, and if you know the defibrillator or however you pronounce it,
I don't know how.
I think after every time you use it, the chances of survival go down.
Yeah.
But
what's the rhythm that you have when you do this CPR? What's the song you're singing while you're doing
I don't sing a song, but you do the shark song, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's my favorite, actually.
Yeah, no.
Fun fact, when I was, that some of those songs are catchy, yeah? So what happened, it was like, I accidentally watched a video last night before I do the course, so it stuck in my head, and I was doing the course, and in my head it was like, da, 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 da.
When are you doing it that fast? Why are you going, da, 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 da?
No, I'm well, baby shark, that's how you're going. And because the guy said like a specific amount of pushes that you do on the chest, and I was singing this in my head, and then the guy says it to me, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Like 30, isn't it? I think it's like
32.
Oh yeah.
We are saving lives now, then we'll kill them again. And actually,
But did you know,
Not to
actually, interesting fact, like, because I'm actually CPR at work trained, so I can
Yeah.
only use my CPR at work. But if someone is to, like, stop breathing in the street and, like, everything, heart stopped, everything, and I perform CPR on them and they die, I can get done for manslaughter.
CPR is giving them the
because you
life.
try to help.
Yeah, you can get done
Isn't
for
this
it.
the silliest
But
thing
I think that's
ever?
so dumb because that now makes me not want to help.
Yeah.
Why would I, like, it's just stupid.
Doesn't make any sense.
There are reasons, but I cannot remember them now because I had the same impression. And they have a reason that makes sense, but I don't remember.
Because I know when you do that, I think you're supposed to break the ribs.
Yes, you might cause bigger.
You might.
Yeah. You can cause like internal bleeding.
You
or-
might
have
break
to
the ribs, but
Sure that you know what you're doing.
Yeah, but I don't.
Yes.
Like I know how to give it, and I know how to do it and what to do, but I don't feel comfortable in doing it.
Exactly.
I mean, well, it never happened to me, so
I don't ever want to be in the situation where I have to use it. I never want to.
so if it happened to you though, will you?
I can't comment unless I'm in that situation.
Okay.
I don't
If
feel
it
like.
happens to a friend of yours, probably.
Oh yeah, 100%.
You know what?
When George passed out, like, oh sorry, I shouldn't say names, should I?
Come on.
When a friend of mine passed out,
Well, we know George.
I didn't have a
People
clue what was going on, right? He just went white, fell, smashed his head, right?
Oh.
Went yellow, eyes open. I was like, oh my God, he's dead.
don't. Yeah. And
So I
think
put him
I
in
You thought
recovery.
that he's
I
dead?
thought he died.
did they
People
come
don't die like
10
this
minutes
at their
after?
30s,
I
or
don't
no?
know.
so now they don't know.
Oh, we came to yours. We came to yours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To continue, I'm
So I was
fascinated by-
expecting guests, and they come all of them like super like
And you know what? That same day,
passed out.
we got told we had COVID. That same day.
Before the passing out.
He passed out. Then we went home,
Yeah.
and we had COVID.
Well,
That's why he
Simple.
passed out.
how did he
They came
come
to my
back?
house with COVID.
He drove. He woke up. He was
just
like,
woke up.
He woke up. He was like, I always pass out. He got up, had an argument with some guy downstairs, and then got in the car and left.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, "You okay?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm okay." Like, why are you worrying?
So he blacked out for 5 minutes and then.
Yeah, and then just got up and pretended like nothing happened.
Well, this happened to me yesterday, so it happened today. So let's move on.
He just had his legs up against the wall for like,
So
2
you didn't know
minutes.
CPR back then.
yeah, I did.
Right?
And like everyone was like, "What on earth's going on?" And I was like, "Renya, oh sorry, friend." I was like, "Friend, come help," because we had the training together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what was the funny thing? Like the funniest thing was that then they said they had COVID. Yeah, because the Renya was like,
The friend.
the friend was like, you had COVID and you came to visit us.
That's
What
what.
the
Yeah,
fuck?
yeah.
What the fuck? And I'm like, Renya, the guy passed out.
The other friend
What
passed out.
what the fuck are you talking about?
To be fair though, the other friend, he had like a really, really hot, like he was really hot, like temperature.
Oh.
And to be fair, like in my family, if you're ill, you have to be really, really ill to be ill.
Yeah,
So,
not
like-
able to get up.
Yeah, like dying. And I'm very much like my dad. So like whenever I was ill, my dad would always be like, "Oh, you're fine, just get up, go to school." So with George, when friend, when he had the temperature,
You
I
had the
don't
same
mind.
attitude.
I was
I
like,
don't
"Just
mind
get
it.
up, you're fine."
I
Like,
don't mind if you say names.
okay. I was like, "Get up, you're
Yes, but
fine."
let's not talk about people who are not
Present. Yeah.
So what? Do you think that you'll be mad?
Yeah. But I was like, "Get up, you're fine. Like, you're just a man. You're like too dramatic." Because he's quite dramatic. Come
Grow
on.
up.
So I was like, "Yeah, come on," and he was like, "All right, okay." And then he got up, didn't eat anything, so he felt sick. Then smoked, and then passed out.
Wow.
Can I
Smoking
say something
kills.
here?
They
Can I
say
say-
that.
Yeah, it's true.
I see girls being more. I see girls being drama queens more frequently than guys. But when they're sick, I feel that it's
Yes.
the other way around.
Yes,
Always.
but I'm not gonna lie, I'm very dramatic. I'm like really dramatic. Like I'll trip and I'll be like, okay, I almost died. Like, but yeah, but he is very dramatic as well.
So Where you've been so dramatic now, be honest. with
When?
me, when you were doing your dissertation,
What do you mean?
that you were being very anxious and all those that you were saying. Like, oh, my dissertation, I
Everything
won't make
related to
it.
crime, right?
It's so bad.
Well, my dissertation.
That stressed you out, your thesis.
Which one? The first one or this one?
I don't know. The
Can I be
second one,
honest with you?
guess.
What stresses me out
You
about my
should be.
uni work is that I'm not stressed. And like, I have 8 weeks to finish it.
Okay.
I'm not even halfway. Like, and I don't care. Like, I'm like, I'll
Is
be
that what
fine.
stress you out?
Yeah, and then
what's
I'm like lying in bed, like and you're just thinking, and then my heart just like sinks, and you feel it. I'm like, oh my God, I only have like 2 months to do this. And then the next day I'm like, you know what, it's fine. Like, you'll be fine.
So temporarily you have it.
Yeah, and I'm like, don't think about it. And then I actually don't think about
Yes,
it.
will
And
be done
then,
on its own.
yeah. But to be honest, I work so well under pressure. So like for my last dissertation, I wrote the whole thing in 2 weeks.
Wow.
And it
I've
was
done
fine.
that in 6
It was
days.
fine. I
Yeah.
got a
150 pages.
I got a
in,
B plus.
6 days.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I realized I have a problem and I need to fix it.
Yeah, but no, I'm cool because I already planned it out. I know what I need to do step by step. So
Yeah.
like,
It
It's
didn't
fine.
damage your psyche at all.
no.
What
So,
is
it's
the
very
Yeah.
I
what-
was stressed very much. I couldn't. In the end, for the next 4 days I did nothing.
Yeah, for the last 4 days, the only thing I did was my dissertation. Like, that's all I done. And I was a bit like, but then afterwards, it was like, fine, I was done.
No,
Like,
I mean that
what
yeah,
is
yeah,
the
yeah.
for the next 4 days,
Yeah.
I had to do nothing.
Thing
so
is,
I can
when I
go back.
finish this dissertation, I'm gonna be out every single day.
wow?
I'm gonna be partying. I'm gonna be 18 again.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay. Dumb then.
yeah, dumb. I'm gonna be dumb and drunk.
What? What is the theme of your dissertation?
Trauma-informed care.
So, is it saucy? No.
Spicy.
Spicy.
So
It is what it is.
it's tomato juice.
It's actually it's very good. It's actually very, very interesting. At first I was a bit like, could be a bit boring, but oh my
Yeah.
God, I love it. I love it
Why?
so much.
Did you get like?
I found so much like things online because I'm doing
What is it about? Like
trauma-informed care in forensic settings.
What's this?
So trauma is a very broad thing, let's say.
Very broad. thing,
There are
okay.
many definitions of trauma.
Do you know what
Okay.
trauma means in Greek?
I know trauma's like from Greek. It's
damage, big damage.
yeah, no, we got told it was something else. It was
The word injury comes from the word trauma also in Greek.
yeah,
The word injury.
I can't remember. I'll find it later, but yeah.
Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
We're not
Yeah.
the linguistics here.
I love how you Greek people have to be like, that's a Greek word. That's a Greek word.
You said
that's
it.
a
We
Greek
didn't.
word.
You said it. We knew,
Actually,
but
he
we
said
didn't.
it.
No,
He said
no,
it comes
Greek.
from. You're not Greek.
I don't want people to know where Deathblade comes from.
I don't think they hear you
Okay.
anyway. You're very far from the microphone, so don't worry.
Anyway,
Deathblade observation, right?
so there's like many definitions of trauma, but it's like normally a significant event that has like impacted you negatively in your life.
Yeah.
So I know for PTSD, for example, post-traumatic stress disorder, in the DSM-5, which is the diagnostic manual,
Too many
Okay, I'm
DMCs,
telling you.
AMCs,
I'm telling you.
TMTs.
it's the diagnostic
follow.
manual for doctors. They use that to like diagnose you with mental health disorders. You have to have, it's a type of anxiety, PTSD,
Okay.
and you have to have experienced something very traumatic in your life in order to even be diagnosed with it. If you haven't had a traumatic disorder and you have like a traumatic event,
Okay.
then you most likely have an anxiety disorder,
Okay.
which is like obviously
Different.
it's different to
Okay.
PTSD.
And more frequent, right? To people.
Yeah, anxiety disorders are a lot more frequent than PTSD. PTSD is probably like the next step up. Let's say I don't really want to say one's worse than the other. Like it's not, but it's like
It's based
more
on a big
complex.
shock.
Let's
So
say
if I am competitive
yeah,
enough and I have anxiety, will I try to have a traumatic disorder?
some people are really weird and do that.
Okay.
some people, especially when I was younger, like I suffered from an illness back then, and there was someone that would always be worse than me, you know, always have it like the next one up. But no, I think all disorders are the same level. Obviously some you can have like severe depression or mild depression. It's like then you can be competitive, let's say, if you want to be competitive. But I wouldn't say it's a good thing to be competitive in, because a lot of jobs you need to have a clear mental health history.
Really?
Yeah, like there are like to be an air hostess, you need to have no record of mental health disorder. That's what I've read anyway.
Can you imagine starting like
to be a police officer?
Yeah,
being on the airplane and then
I don't think so.
Start shooting people.
I don't think so.
Yes, I know.
Oh,
And,
air hostess, yeah, but police officer, no. But so yeah, what's the question? Oh, what was trauma? Oh yeah, so and then trauma-informed care.
Well, blackout there for a moment.
Trauma-informed care is the way that professionals work in, let's say, like forensic settings, so like prisons, secure hospitals, like mental hospitals, to make sure they don't re-traumatize the people that are inside that facility.
Okay.
So like every single thing should be trauma-informed. Unfortunately, in prisons, I don't believe that it is necessarily trauma-informed at all. But the therapy behind it might be. I don't know. In secure hospitals, everything is trauma-informed, like to the point the colour of the walls are different colours. To help brighten the mood and stuff. I can't remember what the colours are, but
I think green is for calm, orange is for crazy.
I can't remember, but it's a certain colour they have. Not all of them, but a lot of them.
It work, because if you were sexually abused and you were seeing a colour that's
like
to calm you, it won't calm you.
Yeah, especially if you're like in a forest with green and stuff, and your room's painted green. Yeah, it's obviously quite traumatizing.
Talk to the person and get the feedback in order to help.
Yeah. But trauma-informed care as well. So in my thesis dissertation, it is based on how to not re-traumatize the people, the criminals, and the people with mental health disorders, and how not to traumatize the professionals working with them.
Have you learned any? What did you find on this? Like, is it?
I cannot tell you yet because I haven't finished.
You haven't finished,
and it's still confidential right now.
When is it gonna stop being confidential?
It will not be. It like when I finish writing it, then I can tell you what I found. I cannot tell you who said it, but at the same time, because I have to conduct interviews with people like forensic psychologists. I cannot tell you. I don't even know who said what. So I will do the transcript, but I've given them like a pseudonym, so there's no way that I know who.
Well, we don't care who said what. We care about the
data. I can tell you.
We care about like maybe to get an understanding of.
And it's like I'm trying to find out
feel.
What else needs to be put in place in order for it to be more.
For me, it happens a lot of times because if someone start talking to me in the streets, I will just have a conversation. I will not assume the words. It might, I'm
the complete opposite.
I might speak with a super successful guy, or with a criminal, or with a mediocre person that has like a balance in his life, and I will just not assume anything. And even though some people say the way I speak is like I think they are stupid.
Who says that?
A lot of people.
A lot of stupid
people.
Fair enough.
And maybe I think I never had like the feeling that the opposite person, even I don't know him, that he will do bad to me, because I'm speaking with a genuine way. In a genuine way across, like I'm being polite. I'm asking questions because I'm interested to learn, like curious to learn of what the person does, and a lot of times like I move out from the conversation, and another person say, "Oh, why did you talk to him? You don't know that this guy is this and this and that."
I think that's a culture thing.
And I'm like, I didn't felt that. I didn't felt that, because for me, I was, maybe I wasn't like judgy. Is that maybe that a lot of people,
Judgy,
like, oh, look what clothes you wore, very handsome, very
I quite
sexy.
like it.
Yeah, but I won't judge you on this. I will just ask the question. I will be curious of what you will say to me.
That's what I mean as a culture thing, because I think British people are. Let's
I'm
not go into
British.
the. Let's
I'm
not
not
go
British.
into
I
that.
don't know.
None of my friends are British, Chris.
Yeah,
You're just
really?
one. Yeah, all my friends are like
Yeah. Should I
Greek.
be British?
No,
No,
definitely
why not,
not.
my dear?
You can become friends with him.
He's my friend.
But
He's not either. He's neither Greek nor British.
but it's but to be honest, a lot of people that I talked, because I didn't expect nothing from them. I don't expect from someone, and a lot of people were very warm against me, like in the way that I didn't think at the time that they will help me.
Who, British people?
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. Because that's the thing. Like, a lot of people said to me, as you, that British, they are more like, we have the work friends and we have our out life friends, possibly school friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's it. And I was okay with it. I'm like, I can live with it. It's fine with me. That's the culture. I don't mind. I'm interested to learn more. And I understand it. It's okay. But then when someone said to me, I will help you, I was like, oh, apparently it's not only this and that. There are people that they just need
Don't
more
get me
time,
wrong. Like, I
maybe.
think British people are very helpful. They're very polite. They do try and help you if they can. I just think they're very. I don't even know how to say it. Like, they're. Forget it. I'm not going to
out of this stressful situation.
I'm not going to say anything bad about British people. They're just not my cup of tea.
Which
Let's
is
say.
a very British thing to say.
The most British
no.
way. In the criminals that you have seen, are they British? Are they foreigners? Are they a balanced mix?
Yeah, I've seen both.
Is it a balanced mix?
Yeah,
so it's not about the nationality; it's about the behaviors.
What do you mean?
Of the people, like
racism and stuff.
Yeah.
I actually feel like there's a lot of racism, especially in the criminal system.
Yeah,
and it's actually really, really bad. Like, I'm not gonna actually state what, because I think that's kind of racist me even saying it.
Yeah.
But there are certain cultures that are and groups and stuff like that that are targeted for certain crimes and linked to certain crimes more than others.
Yeah.
Which I think is very, very wrong, to be honest.
Gives you the false perspective.
Yeah.
And if it happens, it must ring a bell of why is this happening? If the association really exists, the correlation really exists, it's not that these people are bad. It's there's something behind this that leads these people to this behavior.
And I think also when you have, like, let's say foreigners coming to the UK and they know about this stereotype of their own culture, they might even feel like they have to live up to that. And to fit in and like be what everyone's saying they are, which I think is very sad, to be honest.
Yeah. The interesting thing is that that's what I like about what you're doing, is because you move away of these stereotypes and this racism, and you are able to understand about the person and the experience that he had as a person, which sometimes it is through racism causes that he has the certain behavior, as you said. Yeah. But sometimes also it's his behavior or his childhood, and maybe problem bullying him. And that's very important to be able to identify that. If we separate those things, like the racism that it's behind, like a taboo, you will see that it's the people that they try to avoid this culture, because some cultures are more abusive from some others. Like here
Apparently.
here in UK, you can be whatever you want, and not a lot of people will judge you of that. And there are cultures that you will do something, and they will be very judgmental. So people coming here, they try to avoid this, and even if they do like something bad and they end up in jail, with the, let's say, the correct guidance, like people like you do to them, they will have the opportunity to throw back, let's say, those cultural standards that they have, and they will recreate their lives and be like, and build new standards of like people. You can do whatever you want, and you can be also respectful from the other people around you, and you don't have to, let's say, put your opinion on them because you are a man, or because you are a straight instead of gay, or because you know. That's why I believe it's very helpful, very interesting, like to identify what's behind an action, or because a lot of girls might be beaten up by guys because they thought that that's a normal thing. You know what I mean? And
that's actually what I mean. Like with trauma as well, like something you find traumatic I might not, or something I find traumatic you might not. So like trauma as well is all individual. So like someone that's in a gang, let's say he sees people being killed all the time and he's like, it's just part of his life.
Somebody says, I watched a dog getting injured by a truck, not even die, and they feel bad. This is
but like then if I'm walking down the street and I see someone get killed in front of me, that's going to be severely traumatic for me. I'm going to have therapy and everything. So but then that guy, if he sees, I don't know,
worse things,
like even worse than that, I don't even know what's worse than that, but
if you
and I've already seen it.
Attack.
Okay, let's say he's like, oh no, that's too deep. Okay, let's just say someone close to him dies.
Isn't that in everything? Almost everything, the more you dig deeper, it becomes like every individual is different.
Everyone is different, and that's the thing with trauma as well. Like, everyone has traumas. Everyone. Some people don't recognize it as severe. It might be just a mild trauma, but everyone has them. It's just how much they affect you. But if it depends as well, like when in your life as well. If you're traumatized at an very early age, then you'll probably carry them characteristics that you learned from that trauma into your adulthood. So if you don't get help for that, then you'll probably carry it for a very long time, if not forever.
I have a spiced example for this one, actually.
So you need to pay attention at some point in order to get rid of it.
Yeah, for sure.
Jim says hi.
Hi, is he coming? I'm sorry.
We will meet them for beers after.
Okay.
So I have a spicy out of topic though example of this one. And like I was with a group of friends, and we had a girl which she was a nurse. So technically she was working every day with people which were ill. You know, she was like helping them to go to the toilet, to have a bath, to take their medicine, and make them injections on their body. So taking care of them. And we were on holidays, and we found out, someone from the group, I would say who, maybe me, that there is a beach that it's only naked people there.
Okay.
So we suggest, like, we throw on the table, like, shall we go there as an experience? You know, we were like 4 people. So I was thinking that most of the people will be like, let's go to see for the experience. Some will be like, let's see because I want to see naked bodies. Some other will be like, I would never do that myself, because it's not, you know, God doesn't approve. There are a lot of opinions that someone would have.
Yeah.
And I was surprised about the nurse girl, which she said like, whatever.
Yeah, because she's seen it a lot probably.
She was like, I'm doing this every day.
Yeah,
it's not a problem for me. And she said it like so like calm, like it's nothing. It's like I'm getting a sandwich from my fridge.
Yeah.
Getting a glass of water. Like whatever.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem. And because I asked him, like, are you sure? And she was like, yeah. Unless you have a problem, I don't mind at all. And I'm like, hell yeah.
Yeah, people become like, what's the word? Blind, let's say.
Blind.
Not blind.
Do you know how to speak English?
No, I can't. There's this word, and they become shut off. Let's say
Okay.
to that. Like,
Is
they
it because
don't.
you don't use them daily?
Yeah.
Oh man.
I know. It's like I'm learning it as a second language, right?
Shit.
Too much Greek, honestly.
What's your favorite Greek word?
Se agapao.
New one. Se agapao. Maybe.
Or moromo.
Moromo. I think that's your friend's Jenny favorite word.
Jenny.
Yeah.
What's her favorite
She
word?
was calling. Yeah, because she was calling like this Neji.
I don't know.
Moromo Neji.
Oh. Moromo.
I like the other one that you know, which you're saying it's very good.
Which one?
Shut up.
Volosto. Volosto.
Yeah. Perfect.
Or there's an saplose.
Exaplose.
Exaplose.
Yeah. You see?
Pano?
You're being very good. I told you.
Yeah, I know.
I mean,
Do you know
I know all the dog commands, that's it.
Do you know what's mine? Θα πληρώσει ο φίλος μου.
What does that mean?
my friend will pay. It's his favorite word. Criminals that go for a small, let's say, crime in jail. What do we know? What's the percentage of that they will do again a crime?
I don't know. And it's the rehabilitation rates, isn't it?
Okay.
Or reoffending rates. Reoffending rates. I meant
What?
reoffending rates. Reoffending rates, not rehabilitation. Yeah, I don't know. But I think the UK is one of the highest reoffending rates in the world.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And this is what I was going to say earlier, actually. Norway, their prisons are beautiful. Like TV, bed, toilet, everything.
Should I
like
book
really nice. It's like a hotel, yeah? They have the lowest offending rates.
Really?
One of the lowest, yeah, in the world. And here, with small crimes, I don't really know, to be honest. But I feel, this is why I don't agree with prison, though, is because people that mix, let's say in like the social area, they learn about other people's crimes, especially if you're in there a long time. And then when you get out, prison's all you know. And you've had like, let's say 20 years to like learn about everyone else's crime and how to do your crime better.
No, in fact, you think that people are like that because...
Yeah, well, it depends.
If you were only in touch with people...
Actually, that's a very...
The crime, you are more...
You're more likely to commit again.
You are a little... You are prone to be a little bit more pessimistic.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah. And also as well in prison here, I'm not sure about other countries, but you can get solitary confinement, right? Which is when you're in a room for 23 hours out of 24 hours a day. 1 hour you get to go outside. The mental health problems that can cause someone is insane. I don't understand how you can even lock someone up like an animal for 23 hours a day. Like, yeah, it's like there was someone I spoke to recently told me that if you treat a human like an animal, you cannot expect them to be good. Like, you cannot expect them not to act like an animal. Like, if you want to treat them like if you want them to act like a human being, like a decent human being, you have to treat them like a decent human being.
So do you think that if we make the jails like schools, so all the prisoners have to study?
Some of them do. Some prisons, I think a lot of prisons actually do have classes that prisoners can go to, optional though, where they can actually do lessons, and it helps them also find jobs when they're released from prison.
Yeah, but if it's mandatory, the lessons, yeah?
I don't think that would be a good idea.
Everybody will hate them, so nobody will want to go to jail. Because I didn't want to go to school.
But prison's like awful anyway. Why would like if that what they're doing now isn't working, then something needs to be changed. But the way that they treat people in prison, I think, is
Yeah, but imagine that I have to be with bad people and I have to study as well.
I think studying will be more like a luxury, because some people, let's say, that are in prison probably haven't had even a right to education, let's say, in their life. Maybe they've had to like care for their parents since the age of like 5 or whatever. So they never had that childhood, right? So then they committed crimes, and then they can go to prison, and then they can get the education that they never had.
Yeah.
Which they might see as like so if I'm now released, I'm not going to have access to that education anymore. So I need to reoffend.
Oh.
But also, you can see it from the other side of, they might not have had that education, but now they actually have the chance to.
Yeah.
So that's why I think in prisons, it has the option that you don't have to. And I think it's best to keep it that way, to be honest.
Interesting.
But I think with reoffending, I think a lot of it is, again, due to trauma and not having access to the right like therapies or ways of combating it.
Great.
Mm.
And I think it's time for us to go for a beer.
Okie dokie.
So British, throw a span on the rocks.
Yes.